Hi, my name is MMerkel, and this is my video presentation for the Foundations of Accelerated Learning class. My topic was the negative effects that social media has had on our society. Over the last 15 years or so, social media has completely changed our society. From what we knew of it when it first started to what we know now is a complete different. Like, I wouldn't even think they would recognize each other. But while there have been a lot of positive aspects to social media, such as like connectivity to the world around us and to family and friends, there have also been a lot of negative effects of social media, such as cyberbullying and the rise of the easy spread of hate speech, um, narcissism, self esteem issues, depression, and anxiety, especially in adolescence, have all taken this toll, and it's linked to social media in some way. One of the biggest things that I found in my research was about cyberbullying. Schools and school districts and universities and colleges all around the country have really taken this seriously and taken steps in creating programs and services for any student who has been cyberbullied. I found that 20 to 30% of adolescents have admitted to um, participating in cyberbullying, whether being the victim or the bully, which was a shocking number, I thought. But a lot of authorities are taking this seriously, and they have really put into place consequences for actions of cyberbullying, if that gets to that. However, the one thing with cyberbullying and hate speech that I found that's really connected is the spread of it through social media has an appeal because of the anonymity of it. You can create your own profile. You can create a different username that has no information about you, and so it's hard to pinpoint who's starting these sort of rumors about you, whether it's cyberbullying at school or something bigger such as hate speech that can create all sorts of other issues. It's that anonymity that social media gives you that has the appeal for things like cyberbullying and hate speech. And Mark Zuckerberg has actually even said that hate speech, unfortunately, has the freedom of speech behind it. And Mark Zuckerberg has said that he won't turn Facebook into being a policed um, activity. However, there are different there are things in place with Facebook that really you can block users. You can really report things that are unnecessary or becoming violent. So there are steps in place, but there's still a whole world behind around there that's getting around it, and it's going to be an issue. Another negative aspect of social media that I found is depression and anxiety. There's an increase of depression and anxiety in people through social media. When you're posting things on social media, it's definitely you're putting your best foot forward. You're putting in your cutest picture of your kid, your baby, and that your husband brought you flowers home from work. So if you're already sort of prone to depression and anxiety, it's easy to look at other people and think that they have the best life and compare yourself. And while it's human nature for us to compare ourselves, it's definitely increasing our depression and anxiety and how we view the world. I mean, we're put behind this little box of everything's perfect when you have a really pretty social media profile. And it's easy to look at other people's profiles and think that things are perfect. But when you're already prone to depression and anxiety, it can really increase how you're already feeling. On the other hand, narcissism is something that I believe is a negative aspect of social media. How I didn't really find any research that specifically linked to a rise in narcissism from social media, but it's definitely a different tool that narcissists are using to put out their best um, selfies or best picture forward, so that they get this reinforcement from the likes of your posts and comments and positive comments and retweets or things like that. Really play into narcissism the same way it plays into the depression and anxiety, because you're reinforcing that already high sense of self that narcissists have already. So that's something else that I've sort of been finding in my research as well. So yeah, there's been a whole bunch of aspects on social media that have been positive, but there's definitely some that have been negative as well. I think in conclusion, we can say that social media is not going anywhere and it's here to stay. Who knows what it's going to look like in the next 10 years, like it has changed in the last 15. But I think it's important to keep the negative aspects, the negative effects in mind as a whole society. And so we can sort of use social media for the positive aspects, because I believe that if we focus on the positive, it can be a really powerful tool. So I'm looking forward to hearing your comments. Thank you for listening. Have a good night.